We are vastly superior to humans. You know it to be true, so do not resist us. Coming to you live by a tape-delayed basis by means of digital distribution. This is Extreme Hardcore Nerds. Here are your hosts.
Ready, set, game on.
Welcome back, and it is now that time where we sit back and we analyze, we review, we dissect and digest all the wonderful new games that have come out this week. And this week there are two of them. We have Twisted Metal, and we have UFC Undisputed 3. Two totally contrasting games of one another. Two totally contrasting styles of one another. Two totally contrasting reviews for one another.
Any more echelons? Two?
Oh, so...
He throws in the word three and I'm out of here.
So, I suppose I had the honor, if you could call it that, of reviewing both games this week. And why don't we just go ahead and we'll get the bad one out of the way first. So
that's both of them then?
So, I was reminded of days long ago, many moons ago, when I used to play this game called Twisted Metal. It was a car combat simulator where we ran around with three other players in a split-screen format and blew each other up. Now, 10 years since its last predecessor has hit the PlayStation 2, Twisted Metal has returned to us. And I can sit here and honestly say within the first 5 minutes, I was reminded very quickly of why I haven't played a Twisted Metal game in 10 plus years.
By the way, you meant to say PS3, not PS2.
No. Well,
Twisted Metal Black? That was...
Twisted Metal Black was
PS2.
PS2.
You were talking about Twisted Metal 2, the newest.
Yeah, no. Twisted Metal 1 and 2 were on the PS1. Twisted Metal Black was on
Yeah,
PS2.
I thought you were talking about the newest one that you're reviewing right now, which is on PS3.
Which is on PS3, yes.
Yeah. But you said PS2.
But it came with a copy of Twisted Metal Black.
Yes. Still not worthy enough to save this damn game. Oh my dear God. You figure in 10 years they could figure out a control scheme for a car combat game that would actually work. This is one of the most confusing control schemes I have ever played in a video game. The different style of cars and vehicles that you play as, they all pretty much have their own design as far as controls go. Square is gas or forward. Reverse is not a button on the controller. No, it is actually reaching your thumb over to the R3 analog stick and hitting it backwards. But if you're a true pro to the game, you'll realize that you don't need to do any of this if you get stuck in a wall. Just hold down the X or emergency brake button, don't press the gas at all, and spin your analog stick, and you'll just spin around in circles. Like you have a fucking pole in the middle of your car. Yes, I can't make this shit up. The only controls that really did work was L2 is your main weapon and R2 is your special cannons. That's about the only thing that this game has going for it as far as nice, or non-confusing controls. The heads-up display is pretty decent. A lot of the modes that you play in, unless somebody is actually directly on the screen or close to you, you won't see them. It's not like you get an arrow saying, "Oh, hey, the last guy I need to kill is over there." It's just drive around town and eventually you might find each other. And it's like, "Oh, there he is." Okay. Helicopter controls are the analog sticks. Left analog stick only controls left and right. Right analog stick controls ascension and descension. Yeah, there's no point whatsoever in trying to try and use any kind of mounted gun or anything on the helicopter. You just fly around, collect all your special weapons, get your lock-ons, and just start firing at people. That's about all that's equivalent to. So yeah. Also, as far as game presentation and all that wonderful stuff goes, the audio has a tendency to break whenever you get into a big explosion. There was multiple times where I got killed, or I killed someone else. The screen goes boom, and I thought I had literally blown out my speakers and my surround sound because there was nothing. Give it about 20 to 30 seconds. Hey, the sound magically kind of starts fading back in. And there was only a couple games where I had the floor fall out from underneath me, and we got the whole wavy line motion thing going. So, yeah, not the strongest not the strongest there. Also, along with that, there's no sensibility whatsoever as far as vehicles having weight. Because get hit by anything, a rocket, another car, a pedestrian, your car is just going to start doing random flips and skips, and it's going to look like you're in an episode of Roller Jam. So, multiple issues there. Storyline, almost non-existent. Beat the thing in 4 hours. You play 3 separate storylines of 3 separate individuals wanting to get into Calypso's tournament because they want to redeem something about themselves. You have Mr. Grimm, who wants to save his father. I can't even remember what the hell the other chick's name was. It was so bleh. And the only one that you really care about, at least fans of Twisted Metal, is Sweet Tooth. And he's the first one you play. Yeah, story mode consists of two races, a cutscene, 2 races, a cutscene, some boss battle type thing, final cutscene. That's it. It literally took me probably 2.5 hours, and I was done with the first 2 storylines. The story, as far as the storyline goes, very predictable. You can see where these are heading. If you watch any kind of horror movie at all, or have any kind of common sense, you'll see exactly where this is going. The one thing though that the storyline that the story mode does have going for it is the live action cutscenes that they give you and the stylization that they do with that. Those were very pretty. Those were awesome. I enjoyed those. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the equivalent of what single player amounts to. This game, for $60, just like every Call of Duty out there, just like every Battlefield out there, it is designed for one simple fact: multiplayer. This is where the game actually does shine a little bit. Because when you're in a 32-car match and you're just driving around blowing the shit out of people, it's really fun, or it's really easy to just ignore all the other flaws. And you just like, okay, I'm just focused on surviving. One thing though that I do like that they added is that they added garages. So you can go into a garage and get another vehicle, and go around playing as that while your other one gets repaired and health is restored. So you don't necessarily choose a character and that's the vehicle you're stuck with. Like if I played Sweet Tooth, I'm not just Sweet Tooth the whole time. I can switch between cars. I can switch, all that fun stuff. So I mean, that's one nice thing I like about it. Your multiplayer matches are pretty much your standards. Your team deathmatch, your free for alls, and then they have their own version of Capture the Flag, which is called Nuke. Nuke is where you drive around and you attempt to capture the leader of the rival gang, and then you will bring them to your basically your incinerator or your sacrificial vehicle, throw him in there, And then this gives you the right to now launch a missile at a giant statue of the opposing team. First person to kill or destroy the statue wins the series. This was actually a lot of fun. Because it's not just you drive up to it and you throw the guy in and you're good to go. No, like when you have the guy, you really don't have any weapons to. So unless you have like support help, everybody's going to be coming for you, and if you lose them, yeah, you're screwed. So, and once you catch up to your vehicle, yeah, you have to wait a certain amount of time before you can actually into your incinerator before you can actually throw them in. So, I mean, there is a little bit of challenge there. It actually does encourage cooperative play amongst each other a little bit, and
Cooperative play and Twisted Metal, those are things I never thought I'd hear.
yeah, I know, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, graphics are okay. I mean, some parts, like when you're in the towns and stuff, because you're going by so fast, it seems like some of the people textures and stuff weren't exactly all there. And also along with that too, because there's so much going on the screen at once, because they try to build all these cars and all these towns with all these little things happening at once. Load times are horrendous. You look at a load time on this, you're looking at anywhere of average from 45 seconds to a minute. And this is with the pre-installation already going on, with the day one patch as well. And here's the best part. I'm running on a fairly newer PS3. I mean, it's probably only a year and a half old. It sounds like a damn helicopter's trying to take off in my bedroom whenever that disc starts winding. I'm sorry, this is 2012. This isn't 1998. I don't expect my machines to grind and wind when they're trying to play a game these days. I'm just saying. So, lots of flaws with Twisted Metal. Like I said, the biggest thing for me is you figure after 10 years or so that we actually would have maybe figured out a different control scheme or tried to simplify it a little bit. You know, yeah, there's a very steep learning curve to this, and it's just throw you in and, okay, boys, go have fun. Like, the first 5 minutes of me playing was just trying to figure out, okay, what button does what again? Yeah, it does give you a tutorial that you can play through if you want to. I highly recommend doing it, especially if you're a novice to Twisted Metal. But truthfully, if you say you're probably playing Twisted Metal, I'm just going to roll my eyes in your general direction. All in all, I have to give Twisted Metal, I'm giving it a 6.5. There are a few issues there. It's very hard to grasp the concept of like the controls and stuff. You have to be a finger ninja to really to be proficient at this game. I mean, once you get some of the things down, it does come a little more enjoyable. I also knocked it because of the lack of single player experience and the fact, like the old Twisted Metals, you chose a vehicle and you got that person's storyline. Here it doesn't matter what vehicle you take, you get 3 stories and that's it. And like I said, it literally takes you 3-4 hours and you're done. So 6.5 for Twisted Metal.
Impressive that you actually made it through the game.
It was hard. I'm not gonna lie.
A lot of people did not finish that.
The whole time I was playing, I'm like, I really just want to play Kings of Amalur, or I really just want to play UFC.